All right. Hello, hello. Welcome to our transit talk. This is Rebecca with Channel of Curiosity.
And this is Janelle with Chatting Human Design. Man, don't you wish you guys could be a fly on the wall when we talk about stuff between podcasts?
Oh my
Because
gosh.
we have like these ideas and these mind-blowing things. And it's so crazy to see our chart because we're similar. Our designs are very similar, to see how we come at things from the same view, to see our 1156, like to see all those things happening. I'm like, oh, this is so neat. But then Rebecca compliments me perfectly with that first line, because I don't have the energy to know everything and she does. So again, thanks for listening to Transit Talk with us. The transits are the universal energy that we're all going to be feeling, and we're going to be talking about energy that's lasting for about 5 to 6 days. And you can observe it, have compassion with yourself around it, leverage it in your life, whatever you want to do. We're just here to give you the information.
Yes.
That's our job.
Yes.
So we're going to go into the personality sun gate. Your sun is your personality, your vitality, the gift you're here to give to the world. I like that way that it's said. And we're in gate 62. And this is in the throat, and it points to the Ajna center. So it goes up. And this is the gate of expressed details. So this is a very functional, logical, thorough, capital T energy. And usually people who have this energy are good at explaining things to others in a way that makes sense to the other person. So they can take something that might be really convoluted and hard to understand and explain it to somebody, and that person goes, oh, I see, I get it now. So that if you have this energy all the time, that's kind of a little gift that you've got, but all of us are going to be feeling it now. And this energy also comes with a particular voice. It's an authoritative, compelling tone in the voice, and it can persuade other people to your side. So this energy can be very persuasive. You can even persuade somebody to believe something that you know is not true. It's very much, you present the argument so well, they have no way to refute it. So this energy can be one-sided and be like, this is what I think, I'm telling you this, you believe with me, right? You're with me. So try to remain objective when it comes to this energy, and fight the urge a little bit to overly persuade someone to come to your train of thinking, your side, because that's what this energy really wants you to do, is to present all the facts and the numbers and the figures and go, there's no way you can get around this. You totally have to be with me on this. So just be aware if you feel like maybe you're trying to overly persuade people, but also know that sometimes you can clear things up for others who are having a hard time understanding things.
Yeah.
It's an interesting energy, that one.
It really is an interesting energy. For some reason, I've always had a hard time feeling this one out. So it was really helpful to hear you talk about it. It's like I could feel it in a different way.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah. So that's going to be what's happening in the throat. And we also have gate 62, or I'm sorry, gate 17, which is going to be activated during this time as well. And that connects to 62. So we have the 1762 channel from the ajna to the throat for this same period of time. We're going to have this whole channel. And it's the energy of being well informed, of being very convincing and methodical, just like we talked about. But the whole channel can really turn you into a debater, like wanting to debate all the things and go, oh, well, this is how I think, this is my side, like really turn everything into a formal debate. And that can be a lot for some people, and a lot of pressure to argue with you and to stay toe to toe with you. So just be aware if you're turning everything into a debate, and if there's places where you can see the other person's side. I feel like this energy really kind of clouds your ability to see other people's viewpoints. So just be aware if that starts to happen, and try to see other people's side on purpose. Really feel out for that other person's point of view. That'll make you a better debater. It'll make you better at this sort of energy, because you're respecting and seeing other people's sides, and you're not a closed-minded human, which I feel like this energy can kind of do that to people. It's also big on timing, like being really selective with your timing of when you share your opinions. So
well, I mean, it is a projector channel, so
yeah,
that whole recognition invitation piece is important.
You need it. This energy, you should really wait before taking somebody on a big debate that they did not sign up for. I can just imagine if someone tried to do this to me, and I would be like, all right, you're right, I see your side, you win. I don't want to, because I wouldn't want to do it. Oh gosh. So yeah, just kind of look at this energy and see how you're dealing with other people, and if perhaps you can be more open-minded, or maybe you can help someone understand something that they were having trouble understanding before. You're the person who untangles their mind. Just be careful if you're trying to untangle their mind and then persuade them to believe only what you believe. So yeah, that's this energy. Yeah. And 17, it's Jupiter's in 17, so that's like your philosophy and your connection to spirit and your expansion. So yeah, that's what I've got for the 1762. And then we can move right along to the Earth Gate, which is 61, and that's in the head. Yeah. And Rebecca has this gate defined in her chart all the time, so I'm going to let you explain kind of what that means for you.
Well, this one, so it's my conscious moon gate, and it's interesting here because the gift is inspiration and the shadow is psychosis. And
wow. They don't mince words with those gifts and shadows, do they?
No. So this one, I feel like I was telling Janelle before that I feel like I just went through a psychosis spiral. So I'll just speak to the energy of that in case it helps anybody. Recently, I was working with a business coach, like in a group program, and part of it was to figure out what my big offer will be, you know, business stuff. And she gave all these really great things to ponder on, like prompts to look at our chart to unpack different energies, which my one line loved. But I spiraled because I'm trying to figure out, what does this actually mean? How do I make this work? Oh my gosh, look at all this. Like, I started judging myself. I'm like the most terrible person on the planet, just all of this, because I finally realized that I was trying to mentally figure all this stuff out in my head. And as a mental projector, like, I wasn't soundboarding with anybody. And so the energetics just suddenly made so much sense. It was that psychosis at 61, it was just there, and it was just spiraling and spiraling and spiraling, and I wasn't letting any of the energy out. And so honestly, what I did, I took a nap, I went for a walk in my favorite park, I went to a thrift store, found some goodies. I slept like 12 hours. Yes. Yeah.
Love it.
And then I felt better. And then I was able to lean more into the inspiration side. And then actually the next step, I went live on TikTok and just started talking with people. And then they invited me. They were literally, because they're human design people, they're like, can I invite you to share more about this thing that we're talking about? I was like, sure. And then that turned into this whole series of digital courses that I'm creating. And so then there's the inspiration. So hopefully that helps to understand the energetics of it, where if you find yourself getting stuck in your head and you have this energy, or you get stuck in your head this week, just stop, go to your environment, like take a break, go to your environment, get recalibrated, and move into the inspiration.
Be nice to yourself, because cut yourself some slack, I would say.
Observe, don't judge.
Yeah, because I don't have this energy defined, but I mean, mental projectors know how to spiral pretty good. So
right.
I've done a very similar thing, and I do very similar things to help pull myself out, go to a different environment, step away from the thing, give me some space, talk about it with somebody else. Like, and we know as mental projectors that those are things we're supposed to do, but a lot of times we get stuck in the mental processes and we're like, oh, we're moving forward. Here we go. And then something comes and like stops us and causes us to spiral, and we don't do the things we know we're supposed to do. I mean, it's very common. It's common with all the types, but I mean, that's what I do anyway. And then I'm like, oh, if I just went outside, or maybe I should just talk to somebody about this thing. Or even sometimes I just need space from it. Let me put it away and watch like My Celebrity Dream Home on Discovery Plus. And like give myself some like mental candy to have, just to like soothe the mind. Oh my God. This was an amazing thing I saw the other day. It was like, I was online. I forget, somebody shared it and said that sometimes complete silence can be more distracting and detrimental for the mind processes than like white noise or like background noise, like a TV show you're not really watching. And I was like, yes, there are times when I don't want to get in here and I don't want to spiral. I need something to distract me, and I'll put on Chopped and I'll let like this cooking show happen. And I'm not really watching, but I can hear it, and it like pulls me out, and it kind of lets me calm down, and it gives me space between, because sometimes if it's silent, I make all the noise up here, of it.
Too much. Yeah.
And I told my husband that. I'm like, I need a distraction. And he'll immediately turn on Chopped. And he's like, he knows. I just need something to pull me out of here just for a minute, because we can get really in our heads and really loud.
It's so loud and exhausting. Yes. And it's interesting too. We were talking about weird dynamics in the chart because I have open taste, and Raw says that taste people shouldn't listen to music because sound is the opposite of it. And so then it'll take us out of being able to connect to our taste. But I'm Valleys, and Valleys people are acoustic and need the music. And I know sometimes I need to put on headphones and put on music, and then that helps me focus.
Me too.
So it's so interesting. So that's another thing of like, don't pick one part of your chart and analyze it. Because I experimented with, okay, let's try the no music thing. Let's see what happens. And it's too much in here.
Yeah. Sometimes complete silence is too much for our brains, and we needed something in the background. And doesn't make you like a distracted person, or you're just trying to, focus on other things so you don't focus on your life. It's like, no. So sometimes our anxiety gets the better of us up here, and it's not productive or helpful, and we just need something to pull the focus off. Or it's like an overwhelm that I'll get up here, and then something will pull my focus. And then when I come back, there's less stuff, and it's moving more slowly and not as frantic. So I thought that was a really neat thing that I saw. If you have a problem with silence, it might be you just need something to pull you out of here.
I love that.
Because I mean, people talk about it all the time. Like, it's a big strength to be able to sit in silence or just sit and do nothing. And yes, I do that. Usually it's outside so that I hear birds or like the tree swish, and just those little sounds are like, oh, distraction. Oh, I see you, bird. Oh, I see you, leaves, and I'm out of here. So.
Yeah, because you know what? I was just realizing when you said that, it pulls me more into my body and into my environment and to what's happening, and takes the energy out. So that's why it's the distraction. Yeah. Okay. Got it.
It's good. Because and it's not just mental projectors that can be in their heads. It really can be any type. If you have an undefined head, that might be a thing. We both have undefined heads. If you really, it could be conditioning from your life, where if you have a lot of anxiety, mental anxiety that you've dealt with your whole life, I mean, that is a way it can present itself as well. 61 is the gate of inner truth. And people with this energy usually are extremely authentic and genuine because they don't know how to be any other way. And they can very much see when someone else is not authentic and not genuine. They see that, they feel that energy, they're aware. They're like human lie detectors. You can't lie to them. They know. I'm a terrible liar, so this works because I'll never try to lie to you because I'm horrible at it. I'm like the worst. Any sign, all the signs that say you're lying, I'm doing them all at one time. I'm like, oh, so it's the worst. I just don't lie because it's so bad.
I don't have the energy to keep up with the lie either. So
Right? Yes, exactly. And this energy can, because it's head pressure, can give you, or crown pressure, the pressure to seek the truth and to only deal in truth. So it can be very hard if you know someone is not being truthful, or if a situation is not genuine, to continue, because you're like, no, I know that you're lying, or I know that this isn't right. I'm not doing this. It's, to me, it seems like you're really just, you're an investigator, one line, with your little magnifying glass, and you're just looking for truth. And if you find things that are lies, you don't deal in those. You just deal in truth. You leave those to other people. This, to me, is a really cool energy. It would be intimidating if you were trying to lie. I would be scared, but like if I was trying to lie to you, because you're, like I said, you know, you'll always know, and you'll always want to seek the truth. Your inner truth is really important to you, and you'll always want to be seeking that out. You'll have the mental pressure to seek out what is true in this life.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And it makes so much sense looking back of my life before human design. But it's interesting because I can totally tell when someone's lying, between this and the one line in the free motivation. But then all my open body and the open solar plexus is like, but maybe don't say anything. So,
But maybe they don't know they're lying, and this is really their problem and not mine. So I'm yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Maybe they have to lie about this, and it's something they're working through, and I'm not going to mess with their journey and their path.
Right.
But I'm not going to deal in it either.
Or I would take it in my more insecure days and I would think, well, maybe I'm wrong. Like, they seem really convinced, so maybe I'm the wrong one.
The trust piece. Yes.
Yes.
It's huge. It's huge with this energy. And while we're all dealing with this at this time, look at how much you trust yourself. Look at, just as you said, if someone tells you, is feeding you a line of BS, and you know that it is, it's okay to say, hey, I don't think you're being truthful. Or if you don't think that they're aware of it, you can point it out in that way too, or a kinder, gentler way. But you're not here to deal in not truth. Like, that's not what you're here for.
Yeah.
So yeah, to be a little bit more like, no, this is actually the truth, and to trust yourself a little bit more. I can see how that would be hard, but this energy is telling you that you know that you're correct. Like, when you know that something is not truthful, you are correct automatically.
I think it's so cool that it's in the transits at the same time as the 1762, right? To be able to concisely communicate big details. So you can get this download from the 61 and then be able to communicate it. That's a cool combination.
Yes. And speaking of the download for your inner truth, this can look like flashes of inspiration during times when you have inner stillness. That's what I read, is that it might just come to you when you're in quiet, that, oh, this is actually the truth, or they were saying this, but I really think that this is what they meant. So practice with this feeling of getting inspired hits when nothing's going on, and see what it's about, and see if it points you to your inner truth, what you really believe, what you really want for your life. This energy was really cool. What I read about it was like, I feel like this is like truth bomb energy, where you might just tell somebody something and it's a much bigger thing than you thought it was going to be. And you're like, oh, I saw that as a regular truth that was real, and I just told you and exploded your head. Great. Like, so be aware if you let off truth bombs in people's faces. It might be a great thing.
Like, yeah. And you might,
it might be a great thing for that person. You might have just truth bombed them into something great.
Yeah.
You might also tell them something they didn't want to hear, but that's a projector,
Yeah, projector. And this is also, again, a projector gate. So
try to wait to be invited for your truth bombs if you can.
If you can.
Sometimes, I mean, it didn't say truth bombs in my book, in my studies, but as I was reading this, I'm like, this is what it feels like to me, is somebody just coming by and telling somebody something that it's so simple yet so truthful, and they're like, oh, and you just change someone's whole view or their trajectory just by telling them the truth. You should practice with that this week specifically, since you've got like double energy.
Yeah.
You should walk around just telling people the truth. This is what I think. This is what I think.
Oh,
I love this. That would be amazing. I mean, you have a defined throat. You should just go for it.
yeah. Yeah. Oh man.
So Rebecca's gonna truth bomb everybody.
Gosh. You know what just hit me is that during this week, I have all 3 Ajna throat gates defined. You will too.
Oh my goodness.
You will too. Because
Okay, people. What I feel like that means is Rebecca and I have a clearer path from what we're conceptualizing it up here to our throats, which is good. But it can also mean that we just are going to say some stuff. Because when you have a lot of energy coming in the throat, sometimes you don't wait, even if you're supposed to. The throat energy is very like, I'm going to manifestation. We're going to put this thing out. It wants to put the thing out, the defined throat. And her and I have all this energy. But it's interesting because we both don't have any connection to the head, the crown. So it might get fuzzy between the inspiration part and the conceptualization part.
Yeah.
We'll have to see how this goes. See, we're experiencing this with you guys. We don't even know how this is going to go for us. But I didn't even notice that until you said that. Oh, that's so cool.
It just now hit me when you said something. Yeah.
Oh,
So
cool.
that'll be fun.
Oh, super fun.
I think maybe that's the week we need to soundboard all of our ideas we keep coming up with.
Yeah. I think you're right. So yeah, this week, just be compassionate with yourself when it comes to what you want to say.
Yes.
And when you say it and how you say it, and know that you can trust when you feel that something is true for you, genuine or not. And just, like I said, be aware that you can help people understand things, but that doesn't mean you should persuade them to just believe what you believe. That's all I got for the 6261.
I love it. It'll be a fun week. I'm kind of glad we're moving out of the root energy.
Oh my gosh, so glad. Yeah, I saw head and throat. I was like, yes. Although that brings this whole new can of worms, but
a little bit of break.
Right?
Yeah, we stopped fighting people. We've stopped stepping on people.
Now we're all in our heads.
Now we're just talking to people.
And persuading them to do what we say.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you have any questions about human design or transits or anything at all, you can always find me or Rebecca. We're online doing stuff. We'll be around in Instagram, TikTok for her, website for me. We're here. Thank you for listening to us.
Thank you so much.
Bye, guys.
We'll talk to you next week.